Let us discuss about torque on a current loop. It will be very interesting to apply the results of the above sections to a current carrying loop of a wire. You have learnt about an electrical motor in 10th standard. What you have studied in the 10th standard is that the magnetic force on a current carrying wire due to magnetic field. So if you consider a current carrying loop here PQRS in a uniform magnetic field, there will therefore be a magnetic force, that is a F suffix M, you can say, the force due to magnetic field acting in the opposite direction of the side PQ and RS, which results in the rotation of this loop. Why? Because there are couple of forces applied on any loop, they produce a rotational motion. So in this case, we are going to find out torque on a current loop. The same case you have to take over here. Take a north pole and south pole. A current carrying coil is kept in between these two. The direction of current you can see here. Say it is a I over here. Now what will happen? If you apply over here the same right hand rule to find the direction of force. See here, this is force. Thumb is indicate it is a force. This is forefinger indicate the direction of current, and this is the middle finger to show the direction of magnetic field. Now what will happen? Magnetic field is in this direction and current is in this direction. See, magnetic field is in this direction, current is in this direction if you talk about PQ over here. So can I take like this? So if you see the B is in this direction, I is in this direction, the force is in downward direction. See here. This is the case, means force applied on the side PQ is in the downward direction. If you apply the same thing, right hand rule for the side RS, then if you apply the same thing to the side RS, then it shows that the force is in upward direction. So the one side of the loop is pushed inside and this is the side RS will come up. So hence it started rotating over here. So if you want to find out the force in every side of this loop, example, if I am going to take a QR over here, we already know that the force, the magnetic force is always applied is nothing but ILB sine theta. In this case, QR is parallel to this magnetic field, means the angle between the side QR and the magnetic field is 0. If you consider S2P, it will be a anti-parallel to this field, means field is in this direction and the SP you are considering in this direction. So means in short, the sides QR and SP are both parallel or anti-parallel to this magnetic lines of force, magnetic field, the direction of the magnetic field. In that case, the theta will become 0 or 180. For parallel it is 0, for anti-parallel it is 180. Whether it is a 0 or a 180, but sine 0 or sine 180 is always 0. So if you apply the side QR over here, if I consider sine QR over here, so it is if you modify this expression as ILB sine, here it is the direction of magnetic field also in this direction and the QR also you are considering in this direction, so it is sine 0 over here. So sine 0 is 0, 0 into anything 0. So the force on this QR, the magnetic force on this side QR is 0, means no force is applied on this side QR. If you consider SP also, you can consider it as ILB, then you can consider here sine 180. Okay, it is a anti-parallel. So it is once again sine 180 is 0, so again it is 0. So in short, there is no force applied on the side QR and SP. So we are only going to consider now force applied on side PQ as well as side RS. So if you apply the same formula over here, See here, the magnetic lines of force are like this, and means the direction of the magnetic field is in this direction and the PQ is perpendicular to that. So what will happen? It become ILB sine 90. So what will happen here? It became, you can consider I had taken as a length as A and the breadth as a B over here. So you can substitute A also over here, that doesn't matter. So what will happen? A length is nothing but A over here, and then B sine 90 is 1. So what will happen in RS also? It is a ILB sine 90 once again, because RS also perpendicular to the direction of magnetic field. So it became once again I, and this is the length A I am taking, and it is B sine 90. So if you see, the sine 90 became 1 over here. So it became IAB itself. So what will happen? In both the cases, the force on side PQ is equal to force on side RS. It indicates that equal forces are applied, but according to the right hand rule, they are in opposite direction. So obviously when the equal forces in magnitude and opposite in direction applied on any body, it experiences rotational motion. The body experiences rotational motion. That's why this coil is started moving in this direction. So what will happen in this case? How to find out torque? The torque definition, it is like this. The magnitude of any one force. There are equal and opposite forces, no, but they are equal in magnitude. So magnitude of any one forces you take, like a I, A, B in this both the case, and the perpendicular distance between them. If these are the these are the sides you are considering, the perpendicular distance between them is nothing but small b over in this case. So it is B. So can I write I A cross B, that is A into B, that is A into B is nothing but a length into breadth. The length into breadth gives you area of that coil and the B. So this is the final expression for the torque in this case. Thus, magnitude of forces F on side PQ and RS will be IAB. As we already derived over here, these two forces do not act along the same line and hence they produce a net torque. So this torque results into rotation of the loop. Now what will happen if coil is not like this? In the previous case the coil was like this and the magnetic lines of force are coming perpendicular to these extreme sides. Now what will happen if I keep this coil like this? Now the angles made by these lines of force with this coil will be some theta. So this is the case what we are going to study now. So in this case the coil is rotated, it makes an angle theta with the magnetic field. Now how to decide area vector of any object? I already taught you, if this is the object you are taking, the area vector is always perpendicular to this. If the object is like this, then area vector is like this. Means area vector is always perpendicular to that surface. So if the object is like this, then area vector also comes like this. Like this. Now the coil, it was like this. Now the coil we rotated to make some angle with the magnetic field theta. We rotated the coil such that it makes an angle theta with the magnetic field. Now what will happen in this case? In this case, the area vector, if this is the surface you are keeping like this, this will be the area. So how to decide? Now this is the QR. If you compare this QR with this figure, if you see here, this is the QR. Now we rotated this coil over here, so the QR came like this. So I am taking QR for the reference. So it will be the case like this. Now what will happen? QR became like this and the area vector I decided like this. So with the magnetic field it making a angle theta. What will happen if this became theta? The angle between the area vector and the edge of that coil makes a 90 degree. So if it is theta, the remaining angle will be 90 minus theta. So what you have to do now to find the net force acting in such case, that is with the help of net force we are going to calculate torque also. In such case, how to take now? First of all, what is torque? The any magnitude of any one force into perpendicular distance between them. So to find the, first of all, to find the force, if you are talking, the one of, because of this magnetic field, if you apply right hand rule, the force is in this direction and another force comes in this direction. We extend these forces like this, extend these forces like this and take a perpendicular distance between them. So FG is the perpendicular distance between them. So E is a midpoint of FG over here. So if it is 90 minus theta, then the opposite to this also a 90 minus theta over here. So this angle also became 90 minus theta. So if you take the distance, perpendicular distance between them as a D, then from F to E it is a D by 2 and E to G it is a D by 2. D will be divided into half. And if you are taking QR as a small l, then Q to E, take it as a E over here, Q to E is L by 2 and the E to R also L by 2. If you find a cos 90 in triangle EQF, what is cos? Adjacent by hypotenuse. So this is adjacent FE and hypotenuse is what? It is QE. So what is FE? It is the distance, perpendicular distance between them is taken as a D over here. So it is a FE is D by 2 and QE, the QR ka half is QE. So QR is length L. So QE is L by 2. So cos 90 minus theta is sin theta. So what will happen? 2 get cancelled. So you left with distance as L sin theta. If you solve EGR also, the triangle EGR over here, what will it become? Cos 90 minus theta. Once again, this is a 90 minus theta over here. Cos 90 minus theta adjacent by hypotenuse. Adjacent is once again it is a EG. And what will be the hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is ER. So EG is how much? EG is a half of this distance. So it is a D by 2 once again. And ER is a half of QR, that is a L by 2. So 2 get cancelled and cos 90 minus theta is a sin theta. Therefore it once again became L sin theta equals to D. Means the perpendicular distance between in both the cases it is a L sin theta. Now how to define this torque? The torque tau due to this F1 and F2 will be magnitude of any one force, magnitude of any one force into perpendicular distance between them. So what is the magnitude of any one force? We already studied it is a IBB. IBB into perpendicular distance between is L sin theta. So once again it is a I. B into L, breadth into length, is nothing but area of a coil and a B sin theta. So if you express in vector form, it is a I A cross B. So this is the final expression for this thing. There are n turns. If there are n turns in the coil, so you can modify this equation. You can modify this equation as a tau is equals to NIAB sin theta. If you remember, in 11th standard we have studied the I into A is nothing but a moment. It gives you dipole moment. If there are n turns, so NIA will give you dipole moment and denoted by some letter mu you can take. So it is mu B sin theta. So if you write in a vector quantity, it is a mu cross B. So this is also one of the expression you can consider as, where mu is the magnetic dipole moment over here.